Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Play with Python. Today we are going to just see an overview of all the data type. I can't cover all these sequence and mapping data type. It's too big to cover because we have a lot of topics inside the sequence data types like string. For if you are learning string, you should know what is indexing, how to slice the string, how to concatenate the string, or you have a lot of methods inside the strings like insert, append, delete, and there are a lot of process happening inside the string. In addition to that, we have comprehensions, list comprehension, and a lot of things. Okay, so I can't cover all this topic in one single day. We will be seeing today. We'll be seeing just an overview of all the data types here, and from the next session on, we will be detailing seeing each and every data type in detail. I just broadly categorize the data type into five types. One is numeric data type, where we have some basic data types like integer, float, and complex numbers. All the numeric type data type in one category. And we have Boolean type that we already seen while we saw the reserve word. True and false are the Boolean data types. And then there comes the sequence data type, string, list, tuple, or tuple, whatever you say. These are sequence data type. And then we have set. We have two types of set. Mostly we'll be using set only. The frozen set won't be used, but still look at what is frozen data type and its difference from set. And we have mapping data type. Let's see each and every one in detail. So let's quickly go to my interactive mode now. So we are here. We are going to do some simple data types work. So I'll be using my interactive mode only here. Okay. So first data type, it is an integer. We all know what is integer. As most of the programming language will have this integer data type in there. Okay. So here, let's say a is equal to 10. Say, let's take this example. This is I'm assigning an integer value. 10 is an integer, right? So assigning an integer value compile time. So now I'm using the type function to find out what data type it is. So it is an integer. Okay. Similarly, let's say let's get a value during runtime. Okay. So let's take a variable b input of let's say enter value of b. Let's execute it. So it is asking for the user input. So this is what we say it is runtime. You are getting a value during runtime. Okay, so now the program is executing, and in the runtime, you are passing some input. Say I'm given 4. Okay, so this is how it should be. Now I say if I print B, it will print the value B. Okay, if I ask for type of B, it is showing string. So how this is happening? Why is it showing string, and how can we convert this into an integer? By default, the system will take it as a string value. Okay. So if you want to convert this into an integer, so by default, the value which we entered is taken as a string. And if you want to um, convert this string into an integer, we can simply, let me again copy the same line, and I'm getting the input in as an integer, int of. Okay. So okay. So very important thing, int of is a function to convert uh, your input into an integer. So here we are doing the type conversion here. Okay. Let's say I given 4 now. So if I ask type of B now, it is saying class int. Okay. And if I say what is B, then it is giving 4 without any quotes. So if you see the difference, here we are getting 4 within the quotes, and here we are getting the value of B without any quotation. Okay. So that shows that this above 4 is a string, and this one is the integer. So how we converted an value into an integer explicitly? So by using the int-of function. So int-of function will convert the given input into a integer. Okay. So how this one execute first? First, the inner loop will get executed. That is, it will pick up, enter a value, and it will wait for input because we have used of input function. And later, once we given the input, it will convert it to the integer. That is int of 4. Int of 4 will be initially it is string and later it is converted into integer. Okay, I hope it's clear. So this is what we say it as type casting, type conversion. We are explicitly converting into another one data type. Okay, so by default the system will take the input as the runtime input as a integer string. In order to convert it, we have made use of this type conversion int of. So these all about an integer data type. Then we have float. Float, it's actually similar to integer, but the value will be in the form of real with a decimal value. The number with the decimal points will be there. Say, for example, if I'm explicitly giving during runtime, if I'm giving like value a is equal to 10.45, and as for type of A, it's showing class float. So if you similar process for getting runtime, say for example, I want to get a value B in runtime, B is equal to input of and a floating point value. Let's see how it works. Let's say I give in 55.7. Let's say what type it may be. It might be of which type? Any guess? Again, it's a string. So in order to convert that into a floating point number, we'll be doing typecasting here. So same process, just make use of a function float of. Float of, and I'm sorry, I entered it twice. You just can give float of enter. So now it's asking for floating point value, and then I'm giving 45.78. Now that value will be converted into float. Now if I ask for type of B, you will get class float. Okay. I hope you can able to correlate the difference type. So how we converting one data type into another. Okay. I hope this concept is clear. So now that you understand integer and float, there are some things we have to some steps while facing interview. There will be a lot of questions or tricks and tips related to related questions are there. So for example, if they say like 12 divided by 5, what will be the answer? Any guess? Okay, so is your answer is an integer, or is that print a floating point number? Or let's say 12 divided by 2. Okay, so let's take 12 divided by 2. Your answer will be 12 or 6 or 6.0 or whatever. Okay, so you have to find out what result will this one gives. Okay, so can you able to see? Now you got a floating. So this is known as this is also a type conversion. We have two integer and we are converting into a third form. Okay, similarly, say I have 3 plus 4.5, 4.7 or whatever. So can you guess what data type will the output will be? Okay, so this one is an integer. Okay, so similarly, let's try 3.3, 3 plus 7.0. Okay, so this is the other way of implicitly converting one data type to another. Okay, So explicitly we can convert by using the functions and all, like int of, float of functions, string of functions are there where we can convert explicitly. And here in this way we can convert one data type into another implicitly. Okay, I hope this one is clear. Let's see the third data type. It is complex. Okay, so commonly we don't use complex data type in our course and all, but just know the what purpose of it. Okay, so complex data type. We might have seen complex data type in mathematics and all. So it will be in the form of a plus ij. So if you have anything in the form of, let's say, c is equal to 1 plus 6 j. Okay, let me ask for the type of C. It will display class complex. So anything in the form of a plus bj, that will be considered as complex data type. Okay, so that means number will be having real part as well as an imaginary part. Okay, so first one is the real part plus the imaginary part will be there. So that we say it as a complex number. Okay, so Python allows the concept of complex data type. Okay, the next data type is Boolean, where we have the values will be in the form of true or false. Okay, so quite simple. All the programming languages we have seen true or false. Just like that, Python also have this true or false uh, Boolean data type. Okay, so here we have to say um, T in caps. Okay, true, T in caps. Okay, so just now we have seen keywords. At that time we have seen true, false. Okay, so those are in uppercase, no? Capitalized, those true and false are capitalized one. Okay, so now say x equal to true and type of x. So any case, what output will get? We'll be getting class bool. Okay, so bool is the Boolean data type. Okay, normally whenever we work with any conditional statements, in every conditional statement, the output will the expression or the statement will get evaluated, and the output will be in the form of true or false. Okay, so whatever it gives, say for example, if you give if a is greater than 10, then do this. Okay, so if you're saying something like that, and then the system will evaluate if a is greater than, it will check a is greater than check, and uh, evaluate and return the output in the form of true or false. So how it work? If true, then do this. Otherwise, do that. Okay, so in this way, the system will work always. Okay, so we'll see that in detail when we go to the concept of looping, conditional statements and all. Okay, so just remember that true, false, when you use true and true, false, just put the T in caps. Okay. Similarly, we have false also. We have two Boolean data types value, true and false. Okay. Say for example, let's take a simple example where the simple expression. Okay, a equal to 20. What is this double equal to says? It's an operator. Okay, so double equal to says uh, it should be equal. Okay, so single equal to means assignment, double equal to is the condition operator. Okay, so if both are equal, what will happen? What will be the result? If both the conditions are equal, that is 10 and 20 are equal, then the result will be true. Otherwise, the result will be false. Okay, let's see how it is. Okay, able to follow? It's false. Okay, and similarly, let's say just processing Python equal to Python. What output will get? True. Okay, so that means both are same. If both are same, then we will get true. If both are not equal, then we'll get the result is false. Let's say here I'm modifying and I'm changing the case. Okay, so changing the case, let's see whether we'll get the result or not. So able to see? False. Okay, so this lowercase Python and the Python which is in capitalized, both are different. So you are getting the result as false. Okay. Similarly, we can make use of other operators also, relation operators also, like um, 10 greater than or equal to 20. If 10 is greater than or equal to 20, your result will be true. Otherwise, your result will be false. Okay. So you are getting false because 10 is less. So this is about Boolean data type. The next one is string. Overview of all these sequence data type, set and mapping data type. We are not going to learn in deep about that. That we can see in the next session because there are a lot of things we have to cover in the sequence and mapping data type concept. So today we'll be seeing just an overview of each and every data type. Okay, so the first sequence data type, it is string. Okay, um, so you all know string will be in quotation marks, either maybe single quotes or double quotes. Okay. So let's say I give S equal to hi, then you know that this is a string. Let's say type of S, this is a string. Okay. Let's say Y is equal to hello, hi. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Is that also a string or will it get error? Any guess? Okay, so what is string basically? String is a sequence of characters. It can be a number, it can be a sequence of number or sequence of letters or space or special characters or whatever it may be. Say, for example, I give like some special characters also. Let's see how it works. I give an Y and also it is assigning that as a string. Okay, so no problem. A type of Y, then it will assign as a string. Okay, so this is a string. Okay, whatever thing you mention in the inside a pair of single, double, or triple quotes, that will be considered as a string. So that will be considered as a string here. Okay, we don't have char data type. So even if you have single character, it is also considered as a string here. For example, let's say Z is equal to yeah. So we have single character here. Normally in other programming language, we say it as char, but here Python don't support that concept. So let's see what data type it is. It is not char, it is a string. Okay. So it is again a string. Even it is a one character, that is also a string in Python. So hope you understood the basics of string. It may be a pair of single quotes or double quotes or triple quotes. Okay, let's take this one. Let's see how it works. I'm saying Y is equal to, this is, we give it as a single quotes. You look at it a string. Let's say I given a pair of double quotes. Again, let me print it. Again, this is a string. Okay. So let's say I given this as a triple quotes. Let's say it is again a string. So remember, a string should be enclosed with a pair of single, double, or triple quotation mark. So that's mandatory. So can we put one single quotes and close with the double quotes? Will that work? Let's find out. Let's say, let's work here. I have used triple quotes and here I am using double quotes. No, it's not working. It's again asking for some value. So it should be a pair of, let's say whether it will work for single quotes or not. Let's close with single. No, it's not getting. Okay, so it's saying incorrect or incomplete input or syntax error. Okay, so the syntax, what's the syntax? A pair of single, double, or triple quotes. Okay, so if you don't mention a pair of single, double, or triple quotes, it leads to syntax error. These are the basic things we have to remember. Other than that, this string is immutable. Okay, so if I'm assigning string Y is equal to hello, then it should be hello throughout my code. I can't modify it. Okay. Say for example, that's why we say this concept as a immutable. Okay. So we can't modify the value inside the string. Okay. So before that, we have to know how to find the index of the string. Say for example, let me take a simple string s equal to Python. Okay. This is my simple string. I want to know um, the first, okay, the index of the string. Okay, so index will be 0, starts with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so if you want to find the index of, find one particular item of a string, okay, we can go for S of, if I want to change the value of the string, as I mentioned, it is not possible because it is immutable. So for explaining the concept only, I just shown you how the indexing concept. So let's say I want to change the value of my 0th index to y. Okay, let's say I want instead of p, I just want um, just some other one h. Okay, let's say see, it is not working because it's a type error. String object does not support item assignment. So that clearly says that it is a immutable data type. So these are the basic things you have to know. Other than that, we have string of method. If you pass any input in some other data type and you want it as a string, then you can make use of um, str data type. So for example, like even in a is equal to str of 10, what it will do, it will convert 10 into a string. Okay, so let's say a, you are getting it in a double quotes. So this will happen in the runtime also. Say for example, a is equal to input of enter. Okay, so input of enter. So it will be asking user input. Say I given 10. I'm sorry. Okay, so by default it will take as a integer. So for example, I given str of, so here by default it will be string, but again, if you want to convert into convert the whatever input you're getting into string, you can make use of str of. Okay, so let's say I given like 20, and I ask for a, it will display 20. Okay, as a string. Okay, so we can explicitly convert a data type or input into a string by using str of function. So here we just see a string is immutable. We can't modify it. So that this is the line which clearly shows when I try to modify the first value of my string to h, it is throwing an error. Okay, so it is throwing type error. String object does not support as the item assignment. This shows that string is immutable. So now let's give a glance of list. Let me take another one variable name. L is equal to, list will start in square bracket. Okay, so very interesting thing, list. Okay, so we can store multiple values here, which is mutable. Okay, so similarly, just like you access the string, just like that, you have to access the list also, but with the index. So index looks same, just like that. Let's take the string, the list. I'm sorry, list. The list will be enclosed with a pair of square bracket. Okay. So 1, 3, 5, 7. Okay. Let's take any string, any list, and I'm asking for type of L. So any case, what will be my result? It is a list. So if you mention anything with a square bracket, in any values enclosed by a square bracket separated by comma, it will be mentioned as a list here. So this is our list. So now see, we can have multiple values in my lists. It's again a sequence data where we can store multiple values. Is it possible to have list of multiple different data types? Like, can we allow mix the data types here? Okay, let's find out. Say I giving hi in S. Let's say whether will this work or not. Whenever you give string, just put it inside the quotation mark. Okay, let's see whether this one work or not. So it's working. Okay, let's say, yeah. So from this, you understood that string in string we can have multiple data type. Okay, different mixed data type you can put inside. Okay, it's not like you should have a unique data type inside the list. Okay, so if you are using an integer list, then it should be an integer, or string it should be a string. It's not like that. Okay, you can have any data type inside the list. Let's now think, can we have nested list? What is nested list? List inside a list. Is it possible to have a list inside a list? Okay, let's see. I have 2, 5. I put it as a nested list. Okay, so this is one item, second item, third item, and the fourth item is a nested one. So is that possible, nested list? Let's see, click enter. So this one also works. So from this you understood, we can have multiple data type elements in one list, and also we can have nested list also. So yeah, these are the basic concepts. List should be enclosed with a square bracket separated by comma. You can have mixed data type here. It can be also be nested. So no problem in that. Similarly, accessing in the list, you can access any element in the list by using the operation of indexing. Okay, so for example, I want to know the first position value, then I give L of 0. It will display value 1. So if I want the second position value, then I'll give L of 1. It will display 3. Say, for example, I want this nested list. 2 and 5 should be displayed. So 0, 1, 2, 3. If I give 3, L of 3, I'll be getting the nested list. Can you able to follow? So here, if I just want the nested list, that is the value of nested list, that is the value of 2 only I want to get displayed. So how will I work? L of 3, and what value I want inside in 3, I want the 0th position value. So I'll be giving 3 and the first index of that value, okay, to get the value 2. So I'm getting 2. So this is how the list work. Okay, we can see that in detail. Just understand how it works. Other than that, list, other than creating the list, you have to know a very important thing. It is mutable. So mutable in the sense, the value of the list can be changed. Okay, say for example, I want to change the value of the first element to something. For instead of 1, I need 100. So how will I work? I'll say L of 0th position. That is one value of 1 should be changed to 100. So let's say, what is my list? Can you able to follow? So I can change my value of the list, but which is not possible in the string. So that it shows error when I try to change the value of the string. That is because it's immutable, cannot change a string. But when you come to list, you can change the value of the list. So this is one big advantage here in this. We can change whatever value we want. We can add any value we want. We can modify the list just like that. Okay, so if I want to add one more value in the list, I can add it. If I want to remove one more value from the list, I can do it. So or you can, if you want to update the values inside the list, you can do that. But it's not possible in string as well as in tuple. So let's see what is tuple. Tuple also looks similar. How it looks like is it should be enclosed with the parenthesis. Okay, normal parenthesis. So items will be separated by comma. Say for example, 2, 5, 7. It will be separated by comma. So let's find out what data type it is. Type of T. Okay. I hope you'll get the answer in tuple. See, it's a tuple. So from this you understood, if you put separate elements in comma and put it in a parenthesis, that will be a tuple. Similarly, just like string, it is also immutable. So normally we always compare list and tuple. Why we go for the concept of tuple here is, it's just the operations, everything looks similar to the list, but list is immutable, tuple is immutable. So whenever you go for a concept where we don't want to change the value anymore, or we want to keep the value secure and protected without getting updated or changed, then we go for the concept of tuple. So since it's permanent, it is faster than the list. So the processing everything is faster than the list, and the data will be protected, and um, those are the main advantages. So let's see where can we have nested tuple here. Okay, let's find out whether we can put nested tuple. Create another one. Nested means tuple inside a tuple. So it's also working. We can have nested tuple also. Okay, let's see whether we can have mixed data types here. So it's also working. So we can have mixed data type. It can be elements can be nested, and but all the elements should be enclosed with the parenthesis. All the elements will be separated with the comma. The values won't be changed. Say, for example, I'm trying to access the value of the first position. That is, I need the value 2. Then we'll ask for T of 0. It will result. I'm sorry. So it should be accessing and all should be in square bracket. Okay. I want to access the value of the first element. So it is T of 0. It will display 2. Now, just try to modify the value of 2 to something else. Let's find out whether this one works. T of 0 is equal to 23. Let's see whether this one works. So again, the same output error, same error you are getting in string. So type error, tuple object does not support item assignment, just like what you got here, string. String object does not support item assignment. So from this, we understood that you can't update or modify the elements of the tuple. So it is immutable. I hope it's clear. Okay, the next concept is set. Set will be enclosed within curly brace. Say, for example, S equal to curly brace of 1, 5, 6, 1, then type of S. So you'll see type of it is class set. So if you enclose anything within the curly brace and elements are separated by comma, that indicates it's a set. So one magic here is set is a collection of unordered collection of values. Okay, so you all know. Okay, we can. So if I try to print S, what will happen? It's an unordered. You can't find the element with the index here. Okay, so let's say S of. Can you see? Initially, I given S equal to 1, 5, 6, 1. Now, when I try to print the value of S, it's only displaying 1, 5, 6. That's because if there is any duplicate values, it will be removed in this concept of set. So now see, can we have mixed values here? Let's find out. Yeah, it's allowed. Okay, we can have mixed values. And what about list inside a list? I mean, set inside a set. Is that also allowed? That means tested set is allowed or not? 2, 5. Okay, so this is not possible. So we can have mixed data type, but we can't have nested set inside a set. Okay, nested set is not possible. Nested set is not allowed. Okay, only mixed data type is allowed and the elements are unordered. Okay, so let me try to access, as I mentioned, like the elements are unordered and we can't access the elements with the index. So let's see whether it's possible. S of 0. So you get the first index value. Let me try to get the first index value, that is 1. I just want to get 1. Will it work? No. Can you see? So set is not subscriptable. That means it is unordered. You can't access with the index. And the next is dictionary. Yeah, before getting into dictionary, we have another one simple concept like frozen set, which we most of the time don't use, but we can convert the set into a frozen set. Let's say this is my set, this is my unordered set. I just want to convert it into a frozen set. Then say, let's take another one variable. I'm converting it frozen set of, okay, I spelled it incorrect. Frozen set of, if you spelled it incorrect, it won't get changed. Since it's a function, it should be displayed in purple. But if I make any incorrect spelling, it will not get changed. See, it's in black. So I just realized there is some spelling mistake over there, and I changed it. So now frozen set of, I'm just frozen set of giving X. Let's see what output will I get. Type of is it? You should get class frozen set. Okay. So here the items cannot be modified in frozen set. It's immutable. Okay. So we don't mostly use the concept, but just keep this in mind. There is one more data type like frozen set. And the last data type is dictionary. So dictionary is very, very important data type where the elements are enclosed in curly brace only. But the problem here is it will be having key value pair. Okay. Say, for example, G is equal to curly brace, and we will be having key and the value. Key will be there, and the corresponding values will be there. And second item, this is one item. Okay, one item will be having key colon value. Second item will be also having key colon value, comma. Third item will be having key colon value. So it's same concept. Dictionary will be enclosed with a pair of curly brace, and elements are separated with comma. Each elements will be separated with comma, and it will be having key value pair. Key value pair. So that is first one is key, the next one is the value. Okay. Let's find the type of the data type. Type of D, and it will display dictionary. If we don't have key value pair, then it will be set. So if it is curly brace and has key colon value, comma key colon value, comma key colon value, then it is mentioned as dictionary. I hope it is clear how to create the dictionary. So now accessing the dictionary will also comes like you can't access with the index. Say, for example, if I say D of 0, okay, will it display? It will show here. Okay, so you have to access with the index value. Okay, say here the index is 1, yeah, here the index is 2, here the index is 3. You have to access with the index. Say, for example, if I give D of 1, which value it will display? The value A. So now here we have to access with the index, modifying it to 12. So now try to print D of 12. What value it will display? The corresponding value of this key. Okay, D of 12 is a key, D12 is a key, and the corresponding value will be A. So A will be displayed here. So again, we can change the dictionary value. Say, for example, I say D of 12 equal to high. Let's say whether this one works. Let's see. Now I print D. So now the index the index 12's value is changed to high from A. Okay, so this means the dictionary is mutable. We can change the elements of the dictionary. So these are the basics about all the data type. Okay, so hope you are clear with just an overview of it. So in the next session, we'll be covering detail about string, list, tuple, set, dictionary in detail. Okay, so how it works and what are the functions inside there, what is indexing, how can we slice the elements from the particular data type, and what are the operation we can perform, and what is comprehension, and what are the data types which supports comprehension. All these things we can see in detail in the next session. So if you have any doubt, you can just put in the comments. I will answer all your questions one by one. Thank you. See you next session.